I mean, love works if your lazy ass work it.
Don't do that.
I can't say that.
No, you can't.
Damn it.
That's
Don't play with me. This is really not a game, but what you say to me, 'cause I really take your pain away.
Can't fight these demons I try. Can't trust these thoughts in my mind.
baby, no.
Man, it's been a minute. We've been working out some differences. We were arguing a little bit, but you have to do that sometimes.
Fighting a little bit. We
have
getting
to
it right a little bit.
You have to do
We
that.
coming together a little bit.
You have to do that.
Partnership.
You have to do that. Have to do that. Yo, love works. If you work it, we back in the building.
We got EG.
Konami Love in the building. We want to give y'all our sincerest love and appreciation. We thank you for standing by and waiting for us to drop another video. What was y'all doing? None of your business. We was growing. That's what we was doing.
Absolutely.
And you know, and every time in life there's growing and then there's growing pains. Okay, we don't like the growing pain part, but it is what it is. Okay, we want to give a little disclaimer before we get started. We're not here to tell people what to do. We're only here to offer perspectives. That's it. Am I right?
That's right.
All right, that's it. And you know, and no candle ever went dull from lighting another. All right, so we just want to put a little love and light behind you. And we understand that perception is the basis of reception. And we also know that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Woo!
So sexy.
And well, stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing with me.
Sorry.
Anyway, and, what I was saying, and you know, the world is a beautiful place, and we can all get there together. All right, let's look at the man in the mirror, asking him to change his ways. We're gonna get into a lot of subjects. We're gonna jump in and just flow today. Not gonna be before you long, but the wind blowing, and we just want to go with the flow. That's what we do in life. It's all good. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.
Love you guys.
Peace.
Peace.
All right. Time to get into this conversation. We don't know where we're going, basically, but everybody that's wandering is not lost. You know, sometimes having a free flow and a guide to things will kind of balance you in ways you're not even ready for. So we're just gonna see where this conversation go today, and hopefully it bless somebody. You know, we out here in the sun, in the beautiful park, out here in Swanee, Georgia, and because not well, I just said where we were.
You're right, I did. See how we do too much when we do too much.
That's all right. It's all good. But, we live and we learn, and we got to do that real time. And I think a lot of times, we can't do that, where we find we can't make mistakes because we don't have a platform for growth. You know, and we all know stumbling is a part of striding. Like, you've had to know how to stumble before you can be comfortable with a decent stride, you know. And so in relationships we stumble a lot, you know, but then we give up. We get angry, we get mad, frustrated, upset. We get caught up in facial expressions. See how it is? What? Huh? I look angry, but I'm not. I'm actually very happy, you know. But that's all of us, you know. I don't want to take over, you know, the conversation topics. My wife actually the one with the notes today. I don't know.
No, you have your mental notes.
Well, that's mental notes.
Whatever.
You know what I'm saying? We know I'm beastie, but we talk about
whatever.
you as prepared, though.
Talk about me.
You're prepared.
Yo,
EG ain't no joke, okay?
Get what I got.
EG ain't no joke. Energy girl is the real deal, okay? And real deal does not mean you perfect, okay? It literally means that you real.
All the way around.
In every moment, in every stand.
Exactly.
You are who you are. That is the key. It's like people got a problem with, you know, they say perfection, right? We don't really believe in it. We believe in it as a word, but in terms of something to reach, a goal, we're perfect in the moment that we're in. We're perfect in every moment that we live, in every moment of each day. Now, can you be a better you? Yes, that's a symbol of personal perfection. But as a goal, you don't want to reach perfect, because after you're perfect, then what? You know? So that's something we don't really think about. So we have to put things in order when dealing with each other. What you think, baby?
What am I thinking? So when you think about a marriage, you have two people coming together. How do you look at that? How do we look at that as an individual? But you coming together, is it a partnership for you or is it a providership for you? Everybody look at it different. So for me, I look at it as a partnership.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We share this thing. We do this together. It's not one-sided, heavy on one side and light on the other side. We actually come together and we build together. It's a partnership. And so it's not so much responsibility on the man or so much responsibility on the woman. The way I see my marriage, it's a partnership. And I think that's a healthy way of looking at it. Sometimes we get off track and it's like, oh, it's the man. He's supposed to provide. He's supposed to do everything. He's supposed to, that's why I find my security in my relationship or my marriage is in my husband because he provides. No, we both provide. Where I'm down, he's up. When he's up, I'm down. We hold each other. And so I think in this day, we struggle with that, and that causes a big issue in relationships.
I think it's roles. Like people don't really understand roles that they play. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Right.
You're a man. You're supposed to provide everything, and then what you supposed to do?
I guess
or
sometimes people are just brought up like that. I don't think necessarily that's not how I see my relationship.
yeah.
I don't see it as a role like that. You know what I'm saying?
But I think that's where a lot of people miss it. You know what I'm saying? They look at it like something they play out, and not realizing that the two literal energies that are coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in chemistry, you have two components or two chemistries that come together and they bubble depending on the chemistry makeup. Mm-hmm. That is the same thing with human beings. We are more than just moods and feelings and traumas. We're literally energy, vibration, and frequency. Right. You know what I'm saying? And when we look at each other like that, I kind of like put it in the perspective of stars. People being human beings, we're all like stars. When you look at stars and think about stars, they don't get along. I don't like the way this motherfucker pulsating. You doing too much. You know what I'm saying? It's not a real conversation. If they were talking, it would be they pulsate or they orbit around each other. What if we look at each other like we orbit around each other? Like, I respect where you are. I accept who you are, because that is the basis of love. Mm-hmm. Acceptance. True acceptance, not agreeance. Like, I agree with you. I may disagree with a lot of things. Right. You know what I'm saying? But to accept someone, and that could be explained in your face, in the calmness of, it's okay, versus, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying something very different with my face here. And so we have to be aware of body language and different things like that. So they say when you know better, you tend to do better. So the more we put on these mental blocks to make these Legos to build like our mental fortress. Mm-hmm. Like my son played this game called Fortnite, and then they're blasting some stuff. Called him Killmonger or something they call him on there. But the basis of the game is I'm watching him, they're running and he's trying to hide, but he could build bricks to block people's attacks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just build it up. Somebody throw something, build it up real quick. Man, what if we could do that? Somebody say something I don't agree with, it offends me, it rubs me the wrong way. Just build up a mental. No. I'm not even hearing that.
We get lost in the offense of it, and most of the time the offense is, we get offended by things that people say, but ultimately it's just how you see yourself. And you get mad at that person because they say, "What you front me? How you know my stuff? Don't stay out my bag. Let me have my stuff." Well, maybe in that particular time you're not ready for growth in certain areas, and I know for me that's what I've experienced in my relationship with Ryan. Things that I have dealt with or just really didn't deal with, and it comes out in my behavior. And he pointed out, and it's like, you know what, I didn't actually follow that. But what I do with that, I don't just let it go and get offended. I literally take that thing and I work with it, and I literally see myself, the man in the mirror, and I start to work on myself. I used to get offense to it, like I used to be offended by certain things. But once I learned that, what am I offended by? Is that really what I think of myself? And a lot of times we're dealing with things that we don't even deal with within ourselves. And when you have your partner, your life partner, they're able to see us in ways that we don't see ourselves because of the love they have for us.
This is true.
And so that's how I learned to just knock the offense out. Don't even look at it as a defense, because the first thing is, this man loves me. He sees me at my highest potential. He sees things that I don't see. You know what I'm saying? And I trust him. So it's win-win. And it's all in how we're looking at it. I look at it, I want to evolve. I want to be a better me, you know? So why not? But we do, as humans, we take offense to things because we still playing in that playground, you know, with our emotions. And once we learn that it's literally a playground to us. Our emotions are real, but until we learn how to balance them, and we're not ignoring our emotions, but we have to learn how to balance them in certain situations.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So once we get that in line, then everything else will flow a little smoother. And then maybe we can go back and revisit that. You know, when you said this, I kind of wanted to take offense to it, but what is it exactly you're seeing that's causing this behavior? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've learned out of that whole little thing. And it's blessed my life, you know. So I just try to focus more on, this man loves me. He see things that I don't see. He's my partner. He got my back. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of that also comes with acceptance, and it comes with trust. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, just because of the trauma, the things I've been through in life, I've had a hard time and still struggle with trusting people, situations. You know what I'm saying? So as I grow and move forward and grow in my life, and take this walk with him in my life, it's allowed me to heal in certain areas. So the trust thing was a big thing. I can't trust. I don't trust you. So yeah, you offended me. I don't trust you. You like somebody off the street. You know, you just, and we hate to put, you're here pretending. You know what I'm saying? We go through all these type of things that go through our head, especially when you come from, you know, trauma and things in your life. That's why it's the best advice I can give to people when you two are coming together in a relationship. Work on yourself first. You can't give nobody nothing you don't have. You know what I'm saying? So your traumas and things that you're dealing with that can hinder your relationship, focus on those things. So this road, it won't be so bumpy. Because a lot of the stuff I personally deal with is just trauma. You know what I'm saying? And I recognize that, so that's why I'm able to head it on better in a healthier fashion, and not get so offended by everything he says to me. You know?
And also, too, fellas, we got to learn to develop our thick skin, because it's not that our women are just so full of traumas and dramas and stuff. It's literally something going on in the universe. It's not by chance that almost every last one of us is going through the exact same thing. If we actually talk, we actually have the same stories, the same unbelievable, man, she called me a B, man. I can't believe that. You know, there's something going on. It's not just mass disrespect or you over-speaking her and to the point where she don't feel heard, so therefore she goes into a clamming shell, and we go back and forth with this back and forth rhetoric. And at the end of it all, we actually love each other. Hopefully. That is an assumption. Okay? That you actually love each other. You know what I'm saying? We got to get that basis out the way first. What is the premise of your love? And I'm not buying the fact that there's a true love versus toxic love. No. Because true love has no polarity. There's no opposite to it. Hate is not the opposite of love. Hate is literally offended love. Okay? You can't even hate something until you've been offended by loving it first. You had to love it first, have some kind of compassion for it. It offended you, and now it's hate. If not, it's just dislike. I don't like that. I don't like you. So once we get these certain concepts in mind, then we can actually put things together when dealing with each other. Like when we start to deal with frustrations or anger, it ain't just F you, you make me sick, like my wife said. You have to have a basis of some kind of platform of love that you think about this person with on a daily basis. How do you think of each other on a daily basis? How do you think of yourself on a daily basis? Who's that little private mind talking to you on your left and right shoulder? Yin and yang, good and bad, God or devil, whatever title you want to give the polarities of yourself, the dualities, should I say, the higher and lower self, it's all there. Perception is the basis of reception. How you perceive is how you receive everything. So the goal is always to adjust your perception of life. You know what I'm saying? In every way that you look at it. It's not about right or wrong, but like Shakespeare said, it's not good or bad, right or wrong, but thinking makes it so. It's the very process of thinking, how we process our thoughts. Like my wife said, emotions, which is energy in motion, emotion. And in science, they teach potential energy and kinetic energy, stored energy or energy in motion. In the mind, you actually put that in place. It could be something that you just harbor on and store. The storing is not the bad part. It's what's going on in the storing. Are you doing something productive? Are you building? Is it something that you're trying to elaborate on and establish, or something that you spend time denigrating and tearing apart and dissecting and making negative? This is all a person's doing. You're the generator of decisions. That is a sequence of words that we put together that actually is an acronym for, what does it stand for? Generator of decisions? God. Yeah, G-O-D, babe. Okay, that's what it do. So in every moment, you are God. Okay, meaning the generator of decisions. Because nothing happens apart from your decision. If a man's walking down the street like this bug is flying in my face, it's irritating me. All right, but I'm deciding, okay, not to let it bother me. Hallelujah! Okay. Now, my point is, if a man walking down the street and he hit a rock, oh, the devil's busy, almost fell, oh, blah, blah, blah. Another man walking down the street, hit the same rock. Oh, God is good. Oh, he kept me from falling. We don't realize that the reality of that situation, life situation, hit the rock, car, wife yelling, whatever that rock is, okay? Whatever you hit it, then you decide what that is, what that rock represents, what that situation that has you whatever represents. And once you decide that, then the reality comes. God is good, devil's busy, okay? I choose to say God is good all the time because the generator of decision says, whatever I'm going through, I'm going to make it all right. Today is Sunday. I can talk like this. Y'all ain't saying nothing in here. Oh!
That's funny.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's talk about secrets in secrets in your marriage. Secrets in your marriage. And do you think there's a such thing as healthy secrets in your marriage?
It's a good statement. And I think it is bi. It's a bi answer to that. I think a lot of answers, there's universal truths, and then there's answers that is clearly based on situational circumstances, meaning the personal maturity of your particular mate. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be the conscious level of your mate,
the insecurities of
the mate, which all play into certain things you may not could share now, but could share later
over time, years.
So these idea of secrets and you know, I think intention really is the goal behind that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can have ways to say things a lot of different ways depending on your particular mate. I like this particular scripture in the basic instruction before leaving earth. Oh, that's Bible, by the way. It says, husbands, deal with your wives according to knowledge. Right? It didn't speak about what knowledge, or particularly. I think it's isolated to your particular mate. You see what I'm saying? And it's open for that rendition of it. And so it's like looking at that, I think secrets can be very damaging, very harmful, especially if there's secrets like the parameters of your relationship. If there's something that would describe, say like say a person only been with X amount of people, right? Okay. And then it's a secret. even if it was a secret that you was maybe raped, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you didn't share that as one of the incidences, you know.
That
and then,
could very well cause a problem within your relationship.
Very much so, you know what I'm saying? Because you didn't find it necessary to share that secret, you know what I'm saying, with your
Which
mate.
will put a mask on a lot of issues that you're having within your relationships. Because I've had experienced things in my life that affected directly head on my marriage, and it was my secret. But once I partner my life with someone, and things are happening that he has no understanding of, it's just happening, and not really having direction to why it's happening caused issues. So I had to come out and be honest about my truth and why things were the way they were. Now, was that a healthy secret? No, not for me. That wasn't healthy at all.
Yeah.
To hold that in, it helped my relationship, and it helped me to be able to accept some things even about myself that I didn't understand.
Yeah.
And at the time, not understanding the effect of trauma and things like that, when you don't directly face them, you know, you just sweep them under the rug and have this pretend face that, oh, everything is fine. I did that all my life. You know, I have come to a point in my life.
That pretend face is not fake face.
No, it's not a fake face.
It's called coping face.
Right.
That's
Exactly
another name
is.
for that. Okay, because a lot of people don't know what they mean. Pretend face. I ain't pretending, but you coping. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And so it's the face you put out to survive. It's your survival mechanism.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not trying to denigrate being that pretentious personality that has to come about to survive in corporate America. Okay, you can't wear your true feelings in corporate America. You have to hold some secrets. So we're talking about secrets in terms of your love mate.
Something that can potentially affect the relationship.
And I think to answer the question directly, yes, there are harmful secrets. I don't think secrets need to be even a thing. You just need to talk about everything open and just be direct. And if you find where you have to do secrets, a lot of times that's a red flag that this is a dangerous situation even being, because you should have trust enough to share these secrets. You know what I'm saying?
Especially with the one
that matters.
You know, a secret, I look at that as like, you know, with my husband, that's my best friend. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to go to him. If I don't feel that I can go to him about everything. Now, some things, you know, as women, even men, you have your boundaries. That's not what we're talking about.
Yes.
But when we're trying to keep this thing successful and as pure as possible, yes. And I also feel like sometimes secrets are good to have with boundaries when it comes to, you know, your woman, you know, your man, you know, some things that, you know, where she is emotionally about things, her insecurities, you know, her doubts, and it's just...
Deal with your wives according to knowledge.
Exactly.
You know, period. And we grow and evolve and learn things about each other. And like even in your fights, because you know how you notice we could talk all this common sense, but as soon as emotions come, angry, we forget all the rules. Everything is just out the window. It's back to, oh, you motherfucker. You know, we going back in. Okay. And then we have a way to come back. So the goal is really understand who we are to each other. Okay. And once that really sinks in, I think the way that we argue and fight changes. You know what I mean? Because I'm able to say things now during this nice little gap between our last videos. And this way, like, I'm able to say things now on off screen that I wasn't able to say before. It's not that the approach of it necessarily changed. It's the growth is happening. And sometimes people are impatient. All the time. Motherfuckers is impatient, okay? And we don't understand that things take a process. It's time. We're human beings. We have different mind tracks and the way we think and process information. We're merging these two minds together. And then we have to work out our synergy. And we have to allow that to happen. So this is the whole thing of love works. It does.
And ladies, let me tell y'all some little sidebar. When we get information, don't try to use it to our emotional advantage. Don't do that to your man. Don't do that. That's something that he opened up and shared with you, and then y'all getting y'all little thing, and then they'll call them the emotional gloves. You start punching with them jokers, and then it's like, I knew I shouldn't have told you. I knew. Don't do that. Don't do that. That will scar. That's a scar that takes a minute to heal.
Yes.
So information, even though you want to say whatever, just keep that sacred with you and your
That's
heart.
very good. I'm glad you brought up scarring, because what happens when you done effed up already? What happens when you done effed up 15 times, 150,826 times? All right, just to go through the number between little to big. What you do? All right, write that bullshit on paper, okay? Burn that mofo and let it go in the wind. All right, just like your past dramas, your molestation little things, that little nasty little mother that put his hands on you, that little nasty woman that put your mouth in her thing, that all these little stuff going on. We talking about some real shit right now.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to become aware of who we are and learn to let that shit go. I didn't mean to say manure, okay? But we got to let that manure go. You understand? We have to let it go. And if not, it's going to keep haunting you and taunting you, playing like an old record warped in the back of your mind. Oh, remember. I don't want to rememorialize anything. That's the root word of remember, to rememorialize, to keep it up on a sanctuary in your mind. Was it that important? Was it that precious to you that disgusting thing happened that you keep it playing on the record of your mind? Okay, it says easier said than done. Reverse. Well, why is it so hard to let go? That's a real question. Take
because
your
it's
own
keeping
time
us
and
in
answer.
a dysfunctional behavior.
Okay.
We on a real platform. We're not gonna sugarcoat anything. And I'm the number one fan of this stuff because I've done it for years. But like you said, he said you grow. Well, enough is fucking enough. I mean, enough is enough. That part. I mean,
it's enough.
It's keeping the drama keeping the drama going, and that's what we actually feeding off of that. It takes that light off of us and put it on somebody else. Well, no, it's actually you. It's me keeping up the mess.
Now, it is important that whatever you're going through is acknowledged. Okay? We're not saying brush it off. I've learned not to do this. Okay? I don't even do this hand gesture anymore. It felt weird just doing it. Okay? Because I'll be like, if the shit ain't logical, what the hell we talking about?
Men.
Okay? Like ABC, not XPXO. Okay, what is that? Okay? However, that's how we look at things. Remember, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. This includes the women that we're calling dysfunctional, and this includes the men we're calling egotistical a-holes. Okay? There is no light that ever lost its fire by lighting another. Okay? And when you find yourself in the midst of chaos, it is in the midst of chaos that you find yourself. These are not just mantras and slogans and statements. These are actually principles that we live by. Now, we don't want to talk too much because we want to save some for the next video. All right? But we just wanted to just drop some knowledge on y'all, drop some love and perspective to share a different way of looking at things. That's all we're doing here.
And divorce is not an option. I mean,
just throw it out the window.
Not. You got to figure this thing out.
Period.
We go in and now we're not saying keep yourself in no
harmful situation,
no harmful, abusive.
That's just silly.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, have some common sense and wisdom behind it. But
and sometimes it can get fuzzy. But
the thing you have to realize is if you're going through it here, you leave, your next situation is going to be an issue because we all have issues. We all have problems. We have goals where we have growth we have to go through. I'm not who I was now in 20. I'm different. I've learned and grew. I was young. Now I'm 40, and when I'm 50 and 60, I'll be in a different place then. You continue to grow in life. And for me, being successful in my relationship it's like going to college and picking a career and being successful the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not dropping the ball because this is ours. This is our baby. This is our baby.
And this is what it do. And so, y'all, we appreciate you for tuning in.
We love you guys.
Hopefully you stayed the whole way. We're going to put out more content and just be real.
Please leave any questions, any relationship questions you want to ask. Leave them in the comments so we can speak on it on our next video. We'll talk about it. I know we've been gone for a minute, but we back. And
Love
we
works
love you guys.
only
And we
if
just,
you work
we want
it.
everybody to experience
Only
this.
get
It's
your
beautiful.
pocket. You work
It's
it
beautiful.
if you work it, yeah. Love works.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Peace.
My template is different, my temperament distant. I'm still slow to anger, so why are we tripping? Like, why did you suffer from low self-esteem? But it's you that's in charge of the choo-choo. You look to the sky and you pray to a guy, not realizing that energy in you. Problem is, you got a problem and you the only one that can solve it. Get the fuck out of here, wasting my time. Taking initiative, managing energy, checking the enemy. Now I can really see.